Welcome back. So the last session we saw what was conflict, what are the causes of conflict, and how this conflict could be resolved through 5 approach. We also had an understanding with a model which was developed by Mr. Thomas, and we also saw there were 2 approaches, participative approach and collaborative approach to conflict resolution. Today, in continuation of that, we will try to understand what is communication in crisis. We have to understand the fact that not all times will be good for everybody, isn't it? There might be days which is very energetic for all of us. There might be days where we go through a low phase as well, isn't it? Similar way, even this happens for the organization as well. Now, whenever there are certain crises in the organization, it reposes a challenge on them how well they manage it. The challenge lies how well they understand and communicate. Communication in crisis requires a high degree of agility, not just to deal with the media people, but also at times there could be some individuals or group of individuals who would have been impacted by this. Then what is crisis to an organization? These are all unforeseen, unwanted conditions or situations. Normally, whenever it happens in the organization, they have a tendency to withdraw themselves, avoid facing the media. But all that the media or the individual is looking out for from the company is an answer to it or a solution to it. The more you try to avoid, you're leading to speculation. If the higher authorities don't give the information then and there, the media will try to get the information from other sources. That's the reason every organization should know this, understand it, accept it, and have a better communication mode to battle it out. So most of the organizations will have a legal expertise to handle the crisis. So the collection, processing and dissemination of information required to address a crisis situation is what communication in crisis. So what is it? It is an unwanted events happening at the workplace. It arises on a short notice and triggers a feeling of threat and fear in the employees as well. Causes major harm to the organization and its employees. Crisis can have a negative effect on the brand image. Crisis communication experts are also employed, as I said. It causes a major harm to the organization and its employees. Satyam company, overnight they went bankrupt. Mr. Ramalinga Raju, he announced his bankrupt because he had misused the fund of the organization. So what happened? The very next day the stock prices collapsed, employees were panicked, the investors were panicked, isn't it? The goodwill of the company was at stake. The brand image of the company was at stake. So the major harm was to the employees as well as to the stakeholders. It gave a negative effect on the brand image, and the crisis communication experts pitched in to resolve it. How did it happen? Immediately the government pitched in and they reassured the investors and all the stakeholders, and they said, do not panic, we are there to resolve this how did they resolve? They were able to find Tech Mahindra to take over the Satyam, isn't it? Same thing happened even during the subprime crisis which happened in way back 2018. The renowned financial institutions went bankrupt. They declared bankruptcy. US was in utter crisis, financial crisis, right? And ICICI was also one of the investors in that particular financial institution. Immediately the Indian customers were so panicked that the RBI pitched in and they reassured the customers and they said, do not worry, we are there, your investments are safe. So these situations can happen anytime to any of the organization, and the right people should pitch in and win the confidence of the public. Why? Because an organization is existing not away from the society, it is amidst the society. Right? So, I have another case to make you all understand further. It is a Maggi crisis which we all are aware of. I just thought this could help you to understand how communication crisis can happen in the organization as well. In a laboratory in Gorakhpur, proved that the samples of Maggi contained the lead and monosodium glutamate of 1 msg, which is beyond the permissible limit. Then several state governments tested the sample and banned that product. Within a matter of time, Maggi was off the market way back in 2022. So we all know that. So when this crisis happened, Maggi was part of Nestle. So how did Nestle respond? Let us see. Nestle responded quickly to the ban of Maggi by launching an aggressive campaign to maintain the brand loyalty during the difficult period. They used TV and radio commercials to reassure the customers that their products were safe, and they were working hard to resolve the issues as quickly as possible. This is what I said in the beginning. Whenever the crisis happen in the organization, don't try to run away from the problem. Stand there with the information, little information what you have, address the media or address the society, and try to win back these public. This is what Nestle did. The case discusses the measures taken by Nestle India Limited to bring the Maggi brand back to life and regain the trust and confidence of customers. With ad campaigns such as "We miss you too" and "Nothing like Maggi," the brand took an emotional road to reach out to its customers. So when they fought out the legal battle and when they came back to the market, they approached the customers through the emotional route. The emotional campaigns were given, "We miss you too" and "Nothing like Maggi." Not just that, Maggi's marketing strategy combined with the introduction of new flavors and variants as well as focus on the healthy segments with atta noodles contributed to its successful return. The brand regained 60% of the market within less than a year of its comeback, that is 4th November 2023. Isn't it? No matter when all this crisis, when Maggi was going through, still most of the customers in Indian segment were ignorant about it, right? So it was easier for the Maggi to come back and regain the confidence of the customers as well. So this is one of the case which I wanted to show you all. Let us just try to understand some more in detail. What are the factors influence communication in crisis? Communication during a crisis is critical for managing and mitigating the impact of the situation. Several factors influence communication in a crisis, and understanding these factors is essential for effective crisis communication. So here we can see some of the factors and the strategies what they have taken. Urgency and time sensitivity is one of the factor. Urgent crises require immediate and real-time communication. Whenever any crisis happens in the organization, which is urgency and time sensitivity, how the organization should respond? They should respond on real-time basis, quickly. Otherwise, speculation can go up to any extent. So, delays can exaggerate and impact and damage the public interest. And the factor, uncertainty and ambiguity. Things are not clear and uncertain. Communication must address what is known, acknowledge the uncertainty, and provide a roadmap for ongoing updates as more information becomes available. With the little information what you have, this is what I told you all in the beginning. Whenever there is a crisis in the organization, whatever the little information you have, disclose it. If the authorities don't disclose, media will find different ways to get the information. This can lead to any other damages as well. If the factor is nature of crisis, what is the remedy? Different crises require tailored communication strategies. Example, a public health crisis may involve frequent updates from medical experts. If there is any crisis during COVID, we have seen second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, information we were receiving. We were eager to know what is happening in the entire country, not just the country, the entire globe. This is what. In case of a financial crisis, may require a clear message from a leadership. As I told you about the Satyam crisis, Mr. Ramalinga Raju, the software amount by escalating the number of employees. He had made lot of money, and the money what he had made for the software company had diverted for the real estate without the knowing, without bringing into the notice of the investors, and that led to a collapse of this software company, Satyam. Then immediately, the government had to pitch in, timely measures were taken, and that's how we have today Tech Mahindra having taken over Satyam company. So this is what regarding the nature of crisis. Stakeholders diversity is another factor. Stakeholders means it could be internal stakeholders, it could be external stakeholders, because an organization will have not just the employees, it will also have the outside suppliers, it will have the government agencies, it will have R&D cells outside or in-house, it will have the advertisement cell inside or outside relying. Yeah, so everybody are considered as stakeholders. Now, communication should be targeted to address the specific concern and needs of different stakeholders group under that circumstances, and the messages should be tailor-made to win back the trust and transparency. Media and social media presence. Rapid dissemination of information through various media channels requires organization to be proactive in managing the narrative, responding to rumors, and using multiple platforms for communication. As I told you in the beginning, if you fail to respond, if you do not have high agility to respond to the media, what will happen? They will try to extract the information from the other sources, and that can lead to speculation and end up with lot of damage to the brand, the goodwill, to the existence of the organization as well. So this is where you have to be proactive. Leadership and authority is another factor where communication from authoritative figures such as leaders, subject matter experts or government officials can enhance the credibility and trust during the crisis. I told you, when Satyam collapsed, the government pitched in. When there was subprime crisis, RBI pitched in. Let me tell you, no matter whatever the crisis is happening around the world, India has always been a safe destination for investments. You know why it has been a safe destination for investments? Because all the financial institutions in India have got a very sound regulatory bodies, and they are the leaders which will win back the trust of the public. Then we have another factor as emotional impact factor. So crisis communication should be empathetic and address the emotional needs of the individuals, acknowledging the emotions, expressing the empathy and providing support are crucial components. An incident happened a year ago in Kerala, where when the customers consumed the chicken. Yeah. So what happened? Many people had got food poisoning and they were hospitalized. Many people were losing their life, and that's where the local government pitched in and they were trying to resolve the issues. Then we have regulatory and legal considerations, where compliance with the legal requirements and adherence to the regulation shapes the content and timing of crisis communication. Legal advisors play a crucial role in shaping this message. Today, if you see the Indian market, customers are so very aware because of the social media presence. Before buying any product, they look into the labeling part. When is the manufacture date? When is the expiry date? What are the content? Yeah. So they're trying to create an awareness among the customers. Who's trying to create an awareness? It is the regulatory and the legal bodies. So this is the way an organization will have to deal with the crisis, having an effective communication with an legal expertise. Thank you so much.